Hey, what's going on? Podcast Nation is Jason Harris here, and thank you for joining me another episode of Strategy with Jason, the Kain Automotive Event edition of Strategy with Jason. That's right. If you have not bought your tickets yet, you need to go to a computer right now and type in Kain, Kain.auto, and buy your tickets right this moment. Pause this podcast. Don't turn it off. Just pause it because you need to come back and listen to this guest because the guest I got is just an awesome dude. All right. But you do. There's still tickets available. First hotel's already booked, but there's like 3 other hotels. So go get your tickets right now. Kain Auto Event. It's one of my favorite events all year long. All right. Today, I have an amazing guest, one of the Shark Tank participants. And he promised me he was going to have some smack talk to talk about. So we'll see how good his smack talk is. But I have I have Steve Barker with me with Autograph Analytics. Steve, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, Jason, great to see you. I'm coming from Canada, so smack talk isn't typically part of our game. We like to show up and show what we can do, but loving to chat with you
Canadian smack talk. Let's see. How would that go?
We're sorry,
eh? Hey. Look at this.
We're sorry we won.
We're sorry we won. Hey. Well, Steve, man, look, I'm super excited to have you on. Very excited to see you, man, here at the event. It's been a while. You know, we got a chance to talk a little bit before we got recording. I mean, we've known each other for some time. In fact, you're probably one of the few people that are still in the industry that actually know me before I became Strategy with Jason, and when I was a dealer principal at a Mitsubishi dealership. You were one of the amazing vendors I worked with at that time. So it's been a minute, man.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's a bit of a battle of attrition, and we've made it through the long run. It's been over 10 years, so very cool to see where you've been and everything you're doing in the business right now.
Dude, I'm just glad to catch up. Okay, so here's what I want to do to kind of get things kind of started. You know, like I love kicking off these podcasts with a little origin story. Hey, Steve, because like I'm just fundamentally fascinated myself, right? Because I just don't believe someone just wakes up one day and goes, "I'm going to spend the better part of my life in a career in automotive." You know, I find usually people are either born into the business, they stumble their way into the business through a series of events, or like me, they got conned into it. I would love to hear your origin story and how you got started in this crazy world we call the automotive industry.
Yeah, sure. And similar, it's an unexpected journey, but it's been a lot of fun. So I was working in the real estate tech industry in Vancouver, BC. Had been doing a lot of sales work and account management work. And after a couple of years, ended up being introduced to a gentleman named Ian Cruikshank, who some of you may know. Currently, he's the CEO of a company called Leadbox. So at that time, Ian was VP sales for SpeedShift Media. They were a startup based in New Westminster, BC, doing dynamic display advertising. So Ian took a shot on me as a BDR, essentially a cold caller. I knew no one in the industry. I had no contacts, but I've always loved cars and all things sort of automotive related. So dove into that job, knowing no one, locked myself into an office for probably 6 months, making phone calls, just calling dealers, old school, hardcore cold calling, and started to have some success. So grew with that business for a number of years, and then actually ended up working with Ian again as I had progressed, learned some things about sales and marketing, and was offered a role as a VP of sales for a company called Leadbox, continuing to work with Ian. So developed into that. We're selling websites, digital advertising, SEO, video, you name it. And that process, that was 8 years, which got us to sort of the jump off point for what we're doing today.
Dude, and I'm excited to kind of talk about what you're doing today, because like I'm always in for a good, BI tool, right? Because I just, look for many, many years, our industry has been told that, us dealers are sitting on a gold mine of data. It's just a gold mine down there, Steve. No one's ever given us a pickaxe to actually go get it, right? And data, look, data is only as good as how well we can actually make it actionable. So like I'm super impressed with what you guys are doing, and I really want to kind of get into that. That'll be kind of my first question for you, Steve, is how are you helping dealers utilize data and actually put it into action? Well, first, what data sets are you focusing on, and of course, how are the dealers able to put that into action in their operations?
Yeah, for sure. One of the challenges that our dealer clients were facing is siloed data. So we got started in the marketing vein. Preliminarily, we're doing a lot of work with analytics. So we've helped hundreds of dealers set up their GA4 accounts as that fun transition that happened last year.
Hmm.
And then, as you can imagine, with the dealer group, they've got a lot of different websites with GA4 accounts. We've got different ad accounts and different marketplaces, different vendors we're using. So building a solid data foundation so we can track all that at scale across the entire group is really where we got started. And then having a place where you can actually visualize the data and make decisions and actionable insights is the next piece. So
Sure.
that's something that we built out for our dealer clients, where they can have a tool where they can see the entire group's data in one place and it's not siloed, and they can share that with different levels of granularity within the organization to everybody to help make decisions. And the most recent piece that we've been working on very heavily for the past 8 months or so is adding an AI component. So we really think the future of this will be moving away from dashboards. We know that I was reading today that something like 50% of people working today are using an AI tool in the business, but only about 10% of businesses have any type of policy around AI. So we're building a safe and secure place where you can query the data using plain language to start to understand what's happening and make decisions based on all this gold mine of data that you have collected.
Look, I like getting the data and accessing is one thing. You guys are taking it to the point where I can actually just use a question and my voice to actually access that data, dude. That's pretty cool. So I picture I'm gonna have like a little Alexa on my desk, and I'm just gonna ask it what's our current gross profit, and it's gonna be able to tell me.
Yeah, I think we're definitely heading there for sure. And we did a 90-minute lab at Digital Dealer, the last Digital Dealer, and we were presenting some of these tools, showing how AI can be used for data analysis. And I'm not joking, people's jaws literally dropped. Some people were like yelling at us to stop and asking it to do certain things. It's that powerful and that impressive. So I think this is definitely where the industry is starting to head. And we like to think we're at the leading edge of that. And we've built the industry's first AI data analyst that you can ask questions to your data and start to get predictive responses to help with making decisions on spend and marketing. And we expect that to continue to grow into other areas of the business.
Dude, I think that's so cool. I mean, that's the amount of time it would have taken me, all right, just either as a marketing manager or a general manager or dealer principal to analyze that and be able to effectively make positive changes, all right, to my marketing efforts or directions or increasing here or decreasing there. That you're talking hours and hours and hours of just kind of sitting there throughout the month, to try to make sure that our thumb was on the pulse of that marketing spend. I imagine it probably eliminates a lot of spend waste as well. But like, actually, that'll be a good question for you, Steve. Give me a good use case.
Yeah, I mean, most recently we're chatting with a dealer group based in California, and they've been tasked with they needed to cut $10,000 per rooftop in marketing expense next month. And the way their group works, they collaborate with their GMs, and the GM says, hey, I don't like pick a vendor, I don't like Car Gurus, I don't like or pick a marketplace, I don't like Trader, and so on. But there was no real data to support those decisions, and there was no place where you could see all of those marketplaces or other channels compared against each other, apples to apples, using the same metrics. So that's one aspect of the tool where the manager can now go in and take a look at all of those different marketplaces and marketing channels, see what is moving the ball down the field the fastest and the furthest and most efficiently, and then adjust their spend based on that for the upcoming month. So that's one place that I see a lot of value, and also, as you mentioned, the time savings.
Hmm.
Not having to go into a handful of different platforms to review, download, and analyze data is a huge time savings associated to that.
Well, a huge time saving, but also just more efficiency, right? And look, I think at the end of the day, when a lot of dealerships are looking at how AI is going to impact their business, we have to look at kind of the three different things that we have in our business: the people, the process, and the technology, right? And it's like like the industry is pretty good about investing and diving headfirst into something when they see how it positively affects their people, their process, or their technology suites. And what I mean by technology suites is we're talking about the disconnect, and that's what you just brought up, right? And I got to go to this platform, then I got to go to that platform, then I got to go to this platform. Like, just having it all in those different places, not having the technology suite inside of my dealership not communicate to each other, all right, puts an obscene amount of extra labor time on me to try to process and analyze things, relatively quickly. So, dude, I'm pretty stoked for this. So, what would you say would be, maybe one of the biggest value propositions for the solution now, but also where do you see it kind of moving into the future? Like, what do you think one of the bigger future values can be also as well the solution?
Yeah, I think right now it's about efficiency and ensuring that you're making data-driven decisions. That may sound cliche, but honestly, for many of our partners, previous to using a tool like this, there was a lot of guesswork involved, and that's not their fault. It's very difficult to glean information out of all these disparate data sources. And also, as we know in the industry, having been a marketing vendor for 10 years myself, it takes time to get that reporting to the clients. It takes time to distill it. It may be different than other vendors and how they report on things, and it's not apples to apples. So making decisions is tough. So right off the bat, just making data-driven decisions where you're confident that you're actually investing in the right place and making those right decisions for the business is the first piece. Where we're headed, I think it's very excited where we're headed. We're working on training the models, continuing to improve them to start to be more intelligent and sophisticated in predictions. So being able to guide you in, we've got an increase in budget, or it's Christmas time. This is what we did last year. This is where we've had success. What should we be doing? Where should we be investing? What is the most efficient way to maximize our return on our investment? Is one area, and then continuing to grow. We've got a lot of requests from clients today to start to add in things like sales data, CRM data, DMS data, inventory data, other pieces to help them with operations of the business as well.
Dude, that sounds awesome. Like, just that's an operational game change. When if I can get to that type of place, right, where I can make those type of decisions very, very effectively, because it's not just affecting the amount of money I spend, but it's also affecting the processes within inside my dealership. All right. And it's making just even my people efficient too. This is pretty cool. Hey, I know we're getting towards the tail end of our conversation, and I told you I'd give you an opportunity to kind of smack talk the rest of the people that's going to be in the Shark Tank, because you do have two other competitors. Who do we have? We have Dealer E Process and
Car Cutter.
Car Cutter. All right. So, Steve, what would you like to say to the other two competitors in the Shark Tank coming up at the Kain Automotive event here next week?
I'm Canadian, and as cliche as it sounds, I'm an ice hockey player. So we like to let our play speak for itself. So I would say best of luck to you guys. We're looking forward to coming down there, and it's game on. We're bringing our top stuff, and I think we have built something that no one really knows about yet, and people need to know about. The company has been around for 18 months as a full-time for all of us, and we're a very hungry, driven, motivated team. Started with 3 of us, now it's 7. And we're supporting over 350 dealers today. And, touch wood, we have 100% retention right now. I think we're building something that I hope has a great shot of winning the competition.
All right, guys, you heard it. The gloves are off. The Canadians are coming to town. All right. And, there's a reason why a lot of hockey players don't have teeth. So I'm just kidding. Steve, before I let you go, for everybody out there watching, listening right now, who would love to connect with you and learn more about the company, what's the best way to do so?
Yeah, for sure. Feel free to reach out on LinkedIn to myself directly, Steve Barker, Autograph Analytics. You can also hit up our company page on LinkedIn or check out our website, autographanalytics.com. And you can learn more on our dashboard page. Is a quick 1.5 minute video, explains the platform. And we'd love to hear from you guys, and excited to get down to the States next week.
Awesome, man. Hey, dude, I am so excited to see you. And just grab a beer. It's been a while. So, like, really, really excited to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time to jam with me today. This has been a lot of fun. You have yourself an amazing day.
Thanks so much, Jason. Great to catch up, and looking forward to seeing you.